Whether you're a diehard fan or just looking for a good laugh, this monthly series promises to deliver the unexpected with a dash of humor. Tune in as Lance and BT dissect the what the fuck moments that make MMA and pro wrestling the exciting spectacles they are. It's time to let loose and embrace the madness with the WTF News Desk, where Lance and BT bring you the 10 strangest and most fun topics each month, leaving you entertained, amused, and eagerly awaiting the next episode.
Tom the Tree Man. Awesome. I appreciate that, Tom. So we're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I'm out of breath now. STS Pod. This is STSPod.club production. I'm BT, as you can tell. This guy right over here, there's no truth to the rumor that he's in talks to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. No truth to that. I don't know. He's from Chicago, home of the Chicago Wolves. Five-time American League hockey champions. They're in Chicago Saturday night.
Proud.
Again, at the Allstate Arena against the Moose. They're going against the Manitoba Moose.
Wait. Your mind gets distracted when you hear Moose.
Oh, well. No, we broke up.
All right.
He is the snark of excellence, my partner in crime, your friend and mine. Well, sometimes. He is Lance Levine. How the hell are you, Lance?
I am great. I am here at the Reese's Sugar Cookie Studios. It's the new Reese's. They're sponsoring us tonight, so got to thank them for that.
They're not sponsoring us tonight, quit making all that noise over there with that bag.
Fake news. So I want to ask Tom the Tree Man about that graphic. It showed a man with glasses and a woman.
That's me. The woman's on the left. I'm always on the left.
So are you the woman and I'm the man?
Yeah, you're wearing glasses. You know, I know you wear contacts, but you wear glasses sometimes. So you're wearing.
I'll have the sunglasses. Oh, here we go. I can do that.
Yeah. I'm the woman, so
I can do the risky business sunglasses. I can do that, I suppose. So we can
wear
both
your fucking hat, right? All right, man. Let me do some business real quick. Let me tell you,
briefly, I'll do that for you because we're the champs. We're the champions.
If you're not watching the video, you don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yep.
But we'll do some business. A couple months back, we said we had the third most audio plays in history. Then we broke the record, and then we broke the record again. Well, we didn't break the record this time, but we have the third most again. So the last 4 months has been the most audio plays ever in a 4-month period. So it's crazy. We're almost at 2 million plays again.
Wow.
So thanks to everybody.
Awesome.
I'll be super happy with that if we hit it. Last month it was Rocktober. And we had the top 3 episodes, number 3. And this doesn't surprise me. The Record Store Judas by Fozzy, episode 878. Episode 876, WTF. And number 1 did surprise me. It was the debut, 874, a 5-minute time limit. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for that show. There was only 4 of y'all, but it was a lot of fun. And this past month, which we released, not this past month, this past week, we released on the first Tuesday every month. We go live. And I just want to do a quick shout out before we get started. Ed joined us, Lance.
Ed Bogus.
It was the very first appearance ever. And I promise you it won't be the last for Ed. And guys, Lance usually works on Tuesdays, the reason why he doesn't join. But coming up he might be off on Tuesdays, and if so, he's going to join us for at least talking for 5 minutes. You can come on and talk for 5 minutes.
I could rip Ed for 5 minutes on his loss to me in fantasy football last weekend.
There you go. Ed was a true gentleman. Had a fun time. And somebody told me, I can't remember. Someone messaged me and was like, I thought he was from Michigan or something. I don't know how they thought he was from Michigan. But we had a good time. Speaking of a good time, Lance, what are we doing?
I think tonight we're doing the WTF news desk
here on a Thursday. Well, I guess it's almost night because it gets dark at 5 o'clock.
I know that's got you all messed up.
But here we are on a Thursday afternoon, and we're doing WTF. Go for it, Lance.
We cannot just do the straight news stories. Meltzer does those. Everybody does those. The internet does those. So we do the weird news stories for the month. So we assemble all the weird stuff from MMA and wrestling, and we put together this hodgepodge that is WTF that we've been doing for, 6 years, something like that now. So the most listened to show on the network, overall, one of the most listened to shows on the network. So really proud of it.
For sure.
So we start with the stipulation match, and I want to tell you at number 10, it is not from DDT this time. It is from a group called Baka Gaijin and Friends. So sounds like a children's cartoon show from Saturday morning kids show, in the cartoons. Baka Gaijin and Friends. So the promotion is named that. They did the Halloween 2 card on October 29th. Not Halloween, but, they can stretch things over there. There's time difference, time change, whatever. So it was from the Tokyo Arena. Shimi Kitazawa was the name of the place that it was. So
I know exactly where that's at. That's right down there by my mama's house, I think.
The KFC in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So this match right up your alley. As soon as I read this result, I knew it had to be on the show. So it's a 4-way with Mao. Mao. It's all in caps. I got to say it that way. So Mao versus Sayaka versus Kiko Nakamura. Whatever happened to the other Nakamura? There was another guy named Nakamura.
I don't know.
Hondako Antonio, which led me to think, that name is a little weird. So it could be Antonio Honda. We're not sure. Who we've had on this match and the stip match feature before. So those 4 guys in a 4-way, they were all dressed as a schoolgirl sailor, is what I'm told, for Halloween. So that had to have gotten your attention. But if that didn't get your attention, Mao stripped down to a Speedo and he pinned Nakamura with a clothesline for the finish. So the fact that he stripped out of the schoolgirl sailor outfit gave him the match, gave him the win, and got BT's attention at number 10.
My friends in Japan, I have a friend that always wishes me a happy birthday first before everybody else does. You guys are strange. Let me just say that. Very, very odd. Schoolgirl sailor. It made me feel nasty, creepy.
You feel like you need a shower or something.
I always need a shower.
Well,
you're only supposed to take a shower once a week, right?
Yeah. Well, month, week, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
whether you need it or not.
There. So I don't know. Things operate differently in the South, and we'll get to that in
Japan.
I forget which one it is, but there's a South reference coming up too. So all right, at number 9, Drew Gulak just can't let it go. So after being let go by WWE over that Ronda Rousey incident with the great drawstring caper, where I named him Drew String, I think that should have been trademarked, but. He does a bit in Beyond Wrestling on October 20th with one Masha Slamovich. Now, is that her shoot name? I know you're good with the shoot name.
Man, I'm just
Masha Slamovich. I don't know if that could be a work name. I'm not sure.
Not
but
a
anyway,
fan.
Obviously, this is a reference to when the Drew incident where he allegedly touched Ronda Rousey's drawstring by accident. She cries foul.
It was accident.
He went to shake her hand and he accidentally neared her crotch with his hand.
Because she's a bitch.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going there.
That's what you always say about her.
I normally do. Yeah, I normally do. I'm not a fan of Ronda Rousey, but this one doesn't even involve her per se. So anyway, he loses Drew Gulak at this Beyond Wrestling show. He loses to Masha Slamovich, and then afterwards on the mic he grills her if she felt uncomfortable working with him. and if she felt like he was a danger to be in the locker room, obviously parodying some of the fallout that came about from the Ronda Rousey incident.
Well, he'll never return. We say never. It's not anything
never
Professor Russell, but that sounds.
But then after he asks her those questions and she says no, she was okay working with him, he lays her out and turns on her. So all I can say, Drew Gulak, let it go. It's okay. Let it go. I know you want to go back to WWE with the big bucks and everything, but geez, let it go. You're never going to get back if you keep doing bits like that at number 9.
I thought it was hilarious. I laughed about it because we both know the whole thing was apparently blown out of proportion. But we go back to what we always say. They keep some of the damnedest people in the WWE, and we hear all kinds of rumors. Mm-hmm. But man, when the rumor is true, then they leave.
Odyssey Jones. Whatever happened to that guy? And how is Tamina? Is Tamina still there? I need to know. We need a countdown on Tamina. How many days has she still been there?
I'll see what I can do.
All right, please find that out before the next incident. So, all right, at number 8, we have Samantha Irvin leaves WWE, blasts the IWC, and Lillian returns, all in one fell swoop. So on October 21st.
Shit!
Yeah, I know. It all happened at once, Buff.
Hold on. Say her name again.
Samantha Irvin.
She is hot.
Yeah, I knew that was it. I knew that was coming. So she is, but that's beside the point. That's beside the point. So October 21st, Sam, I call her Sam. I'm an insider, so I call her Sam.
Ugh.
The generally well appreciated ring announcer for Raw, it seems like she suddenly quit. Obviously, this is in the works for a little while, but she just vanishes off of Raw on October 21st. Rico, her fiance, Ricochet, we call him Rico. We're insiders. He had left earlier in the year. So, of course, the speculation immediately began that Samantha was going to leave too, was also going to go to AEW, but she hasn't shown up there yet. So in talks afterwards, she reveals that she was unhappy in her role. She wanted a bigger role, which I saw that in the past because me and a couple of the people in the group talk about, she did that Chelsea Green, she did that weird intro of Chelsea Green. It had to have been leading to something. As soon as she started announcing her name weirdly like that, I'm like, that's going to be leading to a feud. Samantha's going to get in the ring or something. It's got to go somewhere. And it never did go anywhere. So she was unhappy in her role. She wanted to manage. She didn't like ring announcing. And I'm like, wait a minute. You can joke all you want about the fact that I think she's cute. She was a good ring announcer. She's
a really damn good ring announcer.
She was great.
Yeah.
So she decides to leave. The fans, of course, the WWE bots annihilate her. They blast her, of course. And so
a bot is not a real person, right? These are real people.
Right. Some of the real people went after her.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're faux bots. Anyway, so she
motherfucker, you cocksucker.
That's what they were to her. They treated her badly. So she says, shut the fuck up, because now she has no boss to tell her she can't do it, which was great. So then they roll out Lillian Garcia. So they had Lillian Garcia in the dugout ready. They put Lillian Garcia back in the saddle. See what I did there? Back in the saddle. And she just, on her first call, she couldn't help but fuck up on the first call. She says they're introducing a number 1 containers match. So she said on her very first match, she says it's a number 1 containers match. So I'm thinking Lillian's trying to get the lucrative Tupperware endorsement or something. So I don't know what's going on. Last thing about Sam, she thanked all the people on the way out in WWE. She also wanted to make sure to mention she wanted to thank Mark Henry, who got her where she was or something. I have no idea what the connection is there, but the fact that she thanked Mark Henry, I thought was kind of weird. So Sam,
it's not, when you're in a business, you usually have somebody helps you get to that spot. He must have been somebody that had worked with her when she first got started. I don't. You find some things that are weird that really aren't weird, but you know what? I don't
Lillian
give
Garcia being back. That's weird.
Guess what? I don't give 2 fucks about Samantha Irvin or Garcia returning. I don't know why everyone made such a big deal about that.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, she left. Who fucking cares? I don't care. She's a good ring announcer. I honestly said this 100 kabillion times on this podcast
math here on
that there is a job for everybody that wants to be part of professional wrestling. Your job might be you setting up the fucking ring. You might put out the cheers, as we like to call them in the South. But if you're good at it, you can make a living at it. Stay with it and keep your fucking mouth shut. And that's what I want to say to Samantha, to Sam. I'm sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
I want to say something, but it really won't matter. I want to say, if I was Tony Khan, I wouldn't hire her. But guess what? That really doesn't matter when it comes to Tony Khan about hiring somebody that's been with apparently if you've been with the WWE, then you can get hired.
You're in.
So tell me something though, from your perspective, why was it such a big deal that she left?
I think it's because everybody wanted to be correct in guessing or predicting that she was going to go to AEW.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why they made a big stink about it, because like you said, it was way blown out of proportion. I like her a lot. She's a fantastic ring announcer. She's hot, as they say. But I think that everybody wanted to be right. Everybody wanted to make the prediction of saying that, yep, she's in AEW. She's signing tomorrow. She has a non-compete, so she can't sign right away if she even ends up there. It sounds like she wants to do other shit anyway. She wants to sing.
She says she does, and that's a sad thing.
So she wants to do other stuff.
I thought it was just, I didn't like doing that. I want to be a manager. I want to be fucking happy and enjoy it. Jesus Christ.
She was really good at that. She could have stayed and parlayed it into some kind of managing gig, but they didn't see it happening. So whatever. So
all right, you know what time it is? Before go ahead, you got another comment?
No, I was just gonna say I think she'll go if she decides to go there. It's because she wants to be with Ricochet, obviously. But if she doesn't and she wants to pursue her future in music, then do that too. Use the WWE connection to parlay that into a musical career. Go for it.
And then she'll shit on all those fans. You just don't do that.
Yeah.
I've sat and watched these videos where there'll be a YouTube guy getting a gazillion this time, a gazillion downloads, and then he just shits on his audience, and they just start going.
I'm just glad Lillian Garcia is back in the saddle. That's all.
I can't stand her either. I can't stand either one of them. Speaking
of shitting on the fans, what time?
Here we go. It's time for the incident report. All right, 290 days. If you're not watching the video, 290 days that I have not shiznit in my pants.
That's right.
And eventually I'm gonna quit doing this.
In on a year.
Yeah, boy. You know them days of the year, don't you? Yeah, that's a good education there when you was in high school. But I just want. We're going to get a little bit closer to a year, and I'm going to tell you the real reason I did that. So, where are we at? Number seven? Number seven? Yes. Go ahead, buddy.
We have Rikishi, or Quiche, as we call him. We're insiders. We call him Quiche. So, Quiche versus Russo, the beef, part one. So, we got Rikishi. Rikishi has a fucking podcast. This goes to my theory that everybody has a motherfucking podcast.
You don't know. It's just god-awful right now.
There's like
every comedian, every wrestler,
So Rikishi tells Vince Russo to go fuck himself because Russo questioned why it was a big deal for Jey Uso to win a prop. He called it a prop. Isn't every wrestling belt throughout the history of time is a prop, basically? So I don't know why this pissed him off so much, but it did. So Rikishi, who, on his podcast, which that's a whole nother story, goes completely off on Russo. And he goes the whole route of never been in the ring, so shut your fucking mouth, basically, is the is
it sad that I like Russo. I don't like, I'm not listening to him every day, but I told you I don't hate him. Is it weird that we're on Russo's side here?
Yeah, it's like
shut the fuck up, Rikishi. I tell you, if Rikishi was standing right here in front of me, I'd slap the shit out of him right here.
Quiche goes off on Russo, goes completely off. He challenges him to meet him, live in person and say it to my face,
Oh,
So,
God.
Anyway, so Keish, let's see what else on this. He says, "Meet me." The clip on Twitter. So you sent me the clip for this. Why did the clip have subtitles? That was bizarre to me. I'm like, Rikishi isn't speaking with like a heavy accent or anything. He speaks perfectly normal English. But
the clip came from maybe YouTube or something, and they had the what you call it subtitles on.
It was.
I had my subtitles on all the time.
I didn't need subtitles, and then they had every other word was fucking spelled wrong too. That was another weird thing too. So my favorite line was Keish saying, "Keep my family's name out your mouth."
Out your mouth.
Out your mouth. Keep my family's name out your mouth. Will Smith didn't know what he started when he said that.
Will Smith, hell, everybody's been saying that for years. Will Smith just borrowed it from somebody.
First I
keep
heard
it out your mouth. Your effing mouth.
Yeah, Jey Uso. Keep my family's name out your mouth. So, all right.
So, just so you know, Rikishi needs to shut the F up too. I'm honest. There is no reason for you to say shit like that, especially when your children are being pushed to the max.
Yeah.
I always think a belt is a prop.
Yeah.
You give belts a little bit more credit than I do because you'll say they should have gave him a belt. You should have already gave him a belt. But I had no problem. I loved it that he won the belt. I think here's why I didn't have a problem with it, because it has to do with the storyline. I would have kept the belt on him longer, but they cost the bloodline cost him the belt. And I see what Russo see, but it's part of the story too. That's what I didn't understand why Russo was mad about him crying or making a big deal about it. That was what the story was. It meant something because he never won a singles belt. So I don't get that. So.
I think a couple thoughts with Jey Uso right now is they put the belt on him. I thought the only complaint I had is that it seemed like they took away from Braun Breaker and his momentum with that, and he'll get it back. But I'm like, I think of Breaker as being so like, he's got such a bright future. Stop fucking with that. Just put a belt on him and let him run. Let him destroy everything in his path, because he should be, eventually that guy should be headlining WrestleMania. And Jey Uso, I agree with what you're saying. The whole storyline made sense, but that guy is selling merch like crazy right now with the whole Yeats shit, so he didn't need the belt.
Love it.
Didn't need the belt. Didn't need it. But anyway, that is water under the bridge at this point. But keep my family's name out your mouth.
Speaking of water, number 6.
Number 6, we have Danny Palmer, NXT meteorologist. So we got Hurricane Milton is in the Gulf of Mexico. It's October 9th. Hurricane Milton is Milton. What the fuck kind of name is that for a hurricane, by the way? We're both going heel tonight. I know you are.
Yeah, I just went heel.
Southeast in the Gulf of Mexico.
Maybe it's Milton Berle. They said Milton Berle had a big O.
I heard about that. Like Moose. Yeah. I heard that about Moose too. And Alberto Del Rio.
Not true.
Didn't you say that about Alberto Del Rio?
Yeah, you can see ADR and Zach. Zach was Jr.
All right, so I thought he was like a volleyball player that lived across the street for you or something. All right, so anyway, let's get back to Danny Palmer, the amateur meteorologist. Yeah. So she's injured. She's out with an injury. I think she might have been high on Advil when she said this, but she decides to turn Hurricane Milton into a political issue on her Instagram. So on her Instagram, she posts, "Praying for Florida, something is fishy. Research cloud seeding, research weather wars. Keep note of the states affected. Solid red states, 36 days until election. USPS has suspended service to many zip codes due to the storm." And this I blame Jamie Ward for. Georgia, 42 zip codes. North Carolina, 39 zip codes. And Tennessee, 19 zip codes. So she takes down the post afterwards. So here's what I got to ask you, Danny Palmer, nut job. Trump won. Now what? What are you going to say now? Because you were obviously saying that Trump was going to lose because the hurricane is a conspiracy that's keeping these people from voting. So what I want to know is what Danny Palmer has to say about our first snow in Chicago. I want to know, is that a conspiracy thing? When it snows, I'm going to let her know so she can tell me what the real story behind that is.
Yeah.
So Danny Palmer is our meteorologist at NXT at number 6.
All right, guys, we're going to, if we go over an hour, you won't get the whole episode. But right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back. We have some shout-outs and then halftime. So here we go, commercial break.
Memphis Wrestling is hotter than ever. Join us live this Sunday, November 17th. Boxing legend Butterbean is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Plus, we celebrate Milestone 200. Next Saturday, November 23rd, Memphis Wrestling returns to Ghost River Brewing Company on Main Street in Memphis. Tickets are as low as just $10. Plus, watch AEW Full Gear at Dave & Buster's in Memphis. Saturday, November 30th, don't miss Memphis Wrestling's Stars of Tomorrow, featuring Wrestle Center coach Jonathan Gresham, one-on-one against Tim Bosby. Sunday, December 8th, AJ Francis returns to Memphis Wrestling for the Grind City Rumble. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
All right, back from commercial. My shout-outs real quick. To my best friend, I'm sorry, Lance, Gene Jackson.
Damn it.
A shout-out about the USWA podcast. I listen to it every week, and he also has a Doug Gilbert podcast, which Doug Gilbert threatened to put a barbed wire bat up my ass one time.
Your fat
late
ass.
Night, and I said, my fat ass is what he said. So we were excited about. I've never been a fan of Doug Gilbert's, but believe it or not, I am now. It's weird. The guy's so much better than I thought he was, and he's been everywhere. So it's very, very interesting. And then USWA podcast has Gene Jackson and the Goobers over there at P3 Radio. They used to have a really good podcast, but I don't even know if they, yeah. And a shout out, here we go, Lance. This is big news right now. Big news. Shout out to Memphis Wrestling because on Sunday, they're going to announce WWE ID person will be announced Sunday. WWE ID, I'm not going to explain it. If you don't know what we're search it, you'll know what it is. It's a big effing deal.
Yeah.
And think about this, Lance. We had a bunch of them on Memphis Wrestling Stars right there in our breakout stars. And number 10, I tell you, and someone asked me if I know. I don't. I've been kayfabed. I don't know. I'd be excited to see if one of them gets the deal. It's episode 858, and that was our 7th annual Breakout Stars. And sometimes we do a really good job, and sometimes we do a really shitty job. So here.
Do you have a guess? Do you have a guess?
No, I don't. I think of those people that we had, I really think it's going to be one of them.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a young person for sure, obviously, because that's what the whole ID thing is the up-and-coming young guys and girls in the indies. So I was really happy to see that, too. It's really impressive. The current champion is Aaron Roberts. There's a WWE guy's been looking at him. I do know that. Tim Bosby, young guy, really good. Those two guys are really good. And the thing about Aaron Roberts is, he's just a huge guy, 420 pounds, big, moves really. Like I said, if you go back and listen to that, almost every one of them have a chance. But I think we're looking at a bigger guy, which I might be wrong. So, but yeah, I'm excited for them because it will mean a lot. It gets some credibility there to Memphis Wrestling, and Dustin needs all that. He's been working very hard. They're recording, as you heard in the commercial. They're recording episode 200 this weekend. And you got to pat them on the back for that. That's just, and I'll do my 200th episode, pat myself on the back there. But yeah. All right, here we go. It's time for halftime. It always sneaks up on me.
Yeah, I know it.
Look at me.
So halftime, here we go.
All right.
Do you remember? Yep. I did it one time on you do remember.
Yeah.
I did it one time on halftime, but I'm bringing it back today. Hashtag behind the snark. So I want to know your snark on this one. So Lance, describe and tell us really quick what 4 a.m. essays. What do you do with 4 a.m.
essays? If you would have warned me for this, I would have brought the book. I have a book that I keep with the 4 a.m. essays in it. So basically, as I'm watching wrestling, as a one-liner comes to me, whether it's serious or a joke, I write it down. I write it down in the book. And then every morning, it was something that started actually in Chokehold many, many years ago in the sheet that I did, where I just did short snippets, like 1 or 2 sentence things, just talking about wrestling topics. Just like I said, sometimes funny, sometimes serious. Sometimes about Mina Shirakawa, whatever topic happens to cross my mind. So the name 4 a.m. essays was just simply because I know.
Sorry.
That one goes on way too long.
Hold on.
Was that an incident? I think that might have been an incident over there. I'm not sure.
No, Tugboat is going to be on Memphis Wrestling this coming Saturday, so I had that sound.
Sounded like some chili.
I lost your train of thought with that. All right, so we know what
I wake up at 4 a.m. and I jot that down. That's
and I've even done it for you. I didn't do it 4 a.m. because I sleep later than that. But this is kind of what the fuck was you thinking when you put this? And I'm going to read your 4 a.m. essay. And I'm going to take you to task for it. But here's the thing, Lance. Number one, you need to cross out the ones that you do or erase them. I don't know what you're doing. I think you're using a pencil because you got where you use the same one like twice. I read them every day. And here's what's funny too is you text me the same. Then you put one out, and I'm just like, what the fuck? He's already texted me this. Why did you put it? But here we go. The Jey Uso Yeet Fest ring entrance is now annoying. Longer than the standard barrier in the category, The Undertaker. So number one, 6 years ago, we did an episode. The top entrances, this was in May of 2018, the top 10 cool kids entrances, and you muttered this. It has to be The Undertaker. How is that is the most over entrance. It's so hot. I sometimes kid you about this, but I don't think you understand he's so over. You would be the guy backstage that said, "Look, that's starting to be annoying to me. We're gonna have to stop doing the yeet. Stop doing the yeet. It's annoying." Tell me, I want behind the snort. What the hell was you thinking?
It's annoying to me. I'm not saying it's not selling merch. It's selling merch like crazy. He was introduced after Roman Reigns on the PLE. He was introduced second after Reigns. I thought that was amazing. And so obviously he's over. He's selling a shit ton of merchandise. They should not have put a belt on him and then taken it off right away. That was dumb.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, didn't need to do that. But he's over as hell. It's great. I never thought in a million years Jimmy Speed. I never thought. I mean, Jimmy is not massively. He's not the big single superstar like that Jey has become. But if you told me they would have split those guys up and this one of them is going to be a massive superstar, I never would have believed you. But they made it work. They did it. They made it work with that stupid fucking word. It's not even a word.
I don't get you. It's like
it's just so annoying. At some point,
you're an old. It's grumpy old man when you say stuff like that. It scares me that you can't see how is it annoying? It's fucking fun. I'm fixing to call Pat McAfee right now and talk to him about that. As much fun as he has with that, you talk to him.
You do that,
man. It's annoying.
It goes
you don't
on
get
forever.
You don't
it
get
on forever.
You don't get it. No, I don't think.
Sell the shirts. Good for you. I'm glad you're making money. I want all the boys to get ahead. The Acclaimed are annoying too. Fuck those guys too.
Really? You don't like the Acclaimed guys? That might be the gazillion time that he's fucking said that. Gazillion.
Rumor has it.
Although,
now it's looking like they're going to split them, which is great because
I don't care. I don't watch AEW. I don't give a flying fuck about AEW.
Big star.
I'm going to mute you. All right, we're fixing to do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get it, Lance.
Am I still muted?
No, I can hear you. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I'm not muted. So at number 5, it's smut time. It's social media uproar time. I sent you a picture also. I saw a comic book that was named Smut. I thought I'm challenging them on stealing my intellectual property on that one. So
I think that's been out for a long time. So go ahead.
Oh, really? Okay. So Smut is social media uproar time where we document all the battles on Twitter and so on. So this month we have Paul Walter Hauser, our guy, versus Bruce Pritchard. And we have Tai Chi promising an incident, as it were. That's right.
I love this.
On October 21st, it's on bodyslam.net. Your guy, Bruce Pritchard, says that he doesn't think Ricky Steamboat could survive in today's pro wrestling. And then my guy, Paul Walter Hauser, our friend, the actor that we like that won the Golden Globe and the Emmy, he replies on X, I don't believe Bruce Pritchard could survive a staircase. And I just relish that because I hate Bruce Pritchard. So anyway, it was a great comeback. So
I thought that was funny, but I still have never figured out why you hate Bruce Pritchard. Where does Bruce Pritchard? How did he get heat with you?
Because of all those snipes at Meltzer.
Oh my God!
Unacceptable.
Meltzer deserves them. Let me just say that. Go ahead.
All right. So we have some replies, a couple of replies on the tweets between these two guys. So at Munchberg says, I don't believe a staircase could survive his fat ass falling on it, which that was what I was thinking.
Boy, I love those fat jokes. Oh, they're so funny.
And at Hurl Call, this is a good one. At Hurl Call,
annoying. They're annoying.
Get his ass, Paul Walter Hauser, from Richard Jewell. And I'm like, what? Richard Jewell was the guy that was the suspect for the Atlanta.
Do you not know what that is? He played Richard Jewell in the movie.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. He did a fantastic job, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, that must. Oh, now it makes sense.
That went way over your head, didn't it?
That one did. Do the over my head sound effect.
Well, guys, you gotta forgive him. He only watches wrestling and occasionally a TV show.
There we go.
Survivor.
All right, and then also on Smut, our old friend Erwick Kroll. Erwick Kroll sent in a post from the irrelevant.
Hold on. Who did you say did that?
Erwick.
Welcome to the show tonight. He has the biggest brain in Illinois. He's quadruple vaxxed. He trademarked Codyverse, and he can't decide if Hangman or Ibushi is his Valentine. He is Eric.
I think I was fingering T-Bone.
I think you were picking his
He
nose.
got fingered. Fingered.
Anyway, so Erwick said they should redo that with Erwick instead, because that was what Wade Keller called him, right?
It's not even funny.
Something
Go
like
ahead.
That. So, all right. So Erwick sends me a tweet. We have
wait. All right, go ahead.
We have Tai Chi, who is
Boo and Eric, by the way.
Yeah, Boo and Eric. Not Boo and Wade. I thought you'd be Boo and Wade. So Eric sends me this tweet.
I think Wade might be my favorite right now.
No, it's always second. Tai Chi, who is no longer relevant, Tai Chi is goading David Finlay into a match for whatever of the 8,000 belts there are in New Japan. So he's trying to get David Finlay to give him a match for the title. And he says, if this challenge is not accepted, quote, let's all gather together and poop emoji at the company entrance. So Tai Chi is threatening to take a shit at the company entrance at New Japan if he doesn't get that title match. So I want to know, how many days has it been since Tai Chi has had an incident? Because it sounds like that's something he's comfortable with. So he might be from Southern Japan. That's all I could think, is that if he's
it's not any kind of incident. It's just that he's going to just shit on something to get a title. I used to have a friend, and I'm not going to. He's in the wrestling business. I'm not going to out him. He used to poop in Ziploc bags and then put it in things like people's luggage when they were going on vacation. And he would zip it; it wouldn't come undone. So there's some strange people in the world.
Randy Orton, was it Randy Orton?
That Bruce Pritchard boy, he talks about my Meltzer.
Wait, and speaking of pooping in plastic bags, whatever happened to Shotzi Blackheart? Remember her? She's
injured.
Sell pictures of her poop, and guys would buy it.
Yeah. I wish I could sell pictures of my poop and make some money.
You'd be a kabillionaire. You'd be a
kabillionaire. I would.
All right. At number 4, speaking of Meltzer, at number 4, we have Dave and TK in San Jose, but not Mascara Dorada. So the ice-cold AEW rolls into San Jose, California on October 16th for Dynamite and Rampage and ROH. Those tapings take forever. They draw a whopping 3,266 people, including WON legend Dave Meltzer. So Dave is rumored to be an AEW fan. It's unsubstantiated rumor that Dave likes AEW.
It's horrible.
We have a comment from Dave. We have what Dave wrote about that show. And our own, we're going to throw it to our own BT, our own Pulitzer Prize winning Brian Trammell, to give us the dramatic read of what Dave had to say about that AEW crowd that night.
He said, I can't say at all. It felt like a dead promotion or a co-promotion. Definitely not hot, but felt like a normal promotion that wasn't hot. The crowd looked bigger than that to me. Closer to 4,000, was reported to be 3,266. What the fuck are you saying, Dave?
It was hot, but not hot. It was cold, but not cold. He should consult with Danny Palmer about the meteorology.
He has such a hard problem saying anything bad about AEW. Him and TK are best of friends. I've never, in all my years reading Observer and listening to Dave, we knew he had inside sources, and I had talked to him, and I knew people that were giving him information. I was giving him information, but he will say, I was texting TK. Mm-hmm. TK told me this. Well, I've already got 2 bits for next month. I'm serious. It's just I don't know what's happened today. Number one, I'll say it again. Stay off fucking Twitter. Just do that for us. Yeah. Please.
Yep.
All right.
Wait, did you have a number 2? You said number 1.
No. That was just my number 1. I can have number 1 and not have a number 2.
Tai Chi is going to do number 2.
I can go pee and not poop.
So to make this even weirder,
poop and not pee. No, go ahead.
TMI. To make this even weirder and worse, they run a local graphic for that San Jose show with a picture of Takeshita.
Yep.
Takeshita.
You didn't tell me when. Say it one more time.
They run a graphic at the local show with a picture of Takeshita. Takeshita. Yeah, him. Against Mascara Dorada. And that's a match that's coming up on that show. So the only problem is Dorada, A, doesn't even work for AEW, and B, can't work in the U.S. because he has no fucking working visa to work in the U.S. So the match cannot happen. The match does not happen. And then Dave questions his buddy TK, the alleged buddy TK, based on your theory. TK admits
there ain't no theory. He says it out loud. He says, I talked to TK, and he said,
I'm going to call him Tony Khan. We're referencing Tony Khan. We're inside, so TK. So TK admits to Dave the graphic was fake, but he really wants the match to happen. So he created the graphic, said it was going to happen on that show, knowing that it couldn't even legally happen. So I would like to see Randy Savage versus Jay White. Can you make that fucking graphic? Can you make that happen too, TK? How about Mina versus Trish Stratus? How about that graphic?
God.
Can I get that one too?
How about never mention her again? God.
But it was just so fucking fanboyish. You talk about me. Fanboyish, you're going to have Mascara Dorada in a graphic that you can't possibly have that match, and they're going to actually air that graphic. So just some weird shit at number 4 in San Jose.
Always weird shit at AEW. We talked about this as it was closing in. I will say that I think I enjoyed WCW more than I did quit watching WCW at one point. Just like I haven't watched AEW in a while. But it's just God, I can't. I even did a Shiznit minute about it this week. I can't believe the main event for Full Gear. Orange Cassidy is not a main event wrestler. He's just not. Just just go. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Right. Okay. I'll respect that.
Look at me.
Yeah. Well, that not that many people are looking at him right now. That's the problem. So, all right. At number 3, we have a foot fetishist attacking NXT.
Oh yeah.
So, you're one of them. Okay.
No,
all right.
no, I'm not. I got friends that are though.
Why is that not a surprise? All right. So again, due to Hurricane Milton, there's that fucking Hurricane Milton hitting Florida. Most of the NXT talent, or superstars as we like to call them, they have to hole up in St. Louis because they were in St. Louis on October 8th because Florida travel is basically shut down. So they're in a hotel in St. Louis. Don't you live pretty close to St. Louis, or you did at one point? You did at one point.
I lived in St. Louis.
That's
I'm
right.
4.5 hours from St. Louis.
All right. Well, I think this might have your stain on it. So anyway, while they're at the hotel in St. Louis, a fan is ejected twice for trying to take pictures of the female wrestler's feet as they walk into the hotel. So he's busted and kicked out, and then returns, and they kick him out a second time. He's trying to take pictures of the female superstar's feet. I wonder if he got any shots of Lillian Garcia's hooves. That's what I want to know. And this whole incident is why men get a bad rap. That's all I got to say. The foot fetishist on the prowl at the hotel in NXT.
Hey man, I'm not going to shame your kink. I've got some really weird kinks myself. If you like if you like feet, go for it. Do whatever you want to do. Leave people the fuck alone, though. There's plenty of people in the world that you could take the pictures of their feet, except for wrestlers. Leave them alone at the hotel. I know some of those guys, people would pick, some of the wrestlers up and help them and everything. That's not what this creep was doing. # creep. So yeah.
I'm trying to think who's like somebody who's Lola Vice, a legitimate badass in NXT. Comes from MMA, so she's the first name that comes to mind. I would have liked to see her kick his ass. Just try to take a picture of my feet. How about one up your ass, asshole? So Lola Vice should have attacked the guy if she was there. So all right,
Lance just made up a story like him and Dave did last month. So there you go.
So all right, at number 2, Carlito might be racist, much like BT. Carlito might be racist. So on the October 21st Raw, Snowflake Nation loses their fucking minds because Carlito makes a silly joke on the air. So you got Io Sky and Kairi Sane, who are Japanese superstars. They're speaking in Japanese, and Carlito hears it, and he says under his breath, "I got to learn Chinese." A stupid joke, harmless. He's obviously they're hot and he's blinded by horniness, so he says that as a joke.
You're the only person that would think that. The only y'all # creep to Lance.
Okay, so
Jesus
that's
Christ.
why he says that.
Where did you get that at? Where did you get that?
That's how I read it as I'm watching it live. That's how I read the situation. He's
God! Yes, because you're watching Raw with no pants on.
Right. Okay. So
every girl, she is hot.
She is hot. Immediate backlash against Carlito for racism, for stereotyping.
He was sworn.
So WWE claims that he ad-libbed the line. They did edit out the line on future broadcasts of it, so they edited it out on replay. So to me, it was Three Stooges level humor. It was harmless, and people love to overreact. So of course the nation is, "I'll never watch WWE again," says those who don't already watch WWE. So they got so outraged. So not that Carlito is a comedy god or anything, but how would Richard Pryor, how would Lenny Bruce, how would Sam Kinison survive these days with how sensitive people are when it comes to comedy?
They wouldn't. It goes, Carlito, I love you, man, because it goes right with what I said on this show when we were doing Breakout Stars. You can't tell them apart. You can't tell where the Chinese, Japanese. You can't do it. A common casual fan that doesn't watch it every week will turn on the show and say, "They just got a bunch of Chinese wrestlers." I know that's what they do. Chinese wrestlers. Big thumbs up to Carlito. I thought it was hilarious. So.
He is the next Sam Kinison in terms of comedy. So
number one.
We're up to number one.
He only said that because he was horny. He was blinded by horniness.
He was blinded by the fact that they're beautiful, so he said Chinese.
Oh, God. They all look the same. What?
Number one. They don't look the same. Number one is the Election Roundup 2024. So we've got I know you got a lot going on this one. So we got a WWE Hall of Famer taking on Kamala, whatever. This really did feel like a wrestling feud. This whole, summer of the going back and forth with the two of them. So then they turn to the boys of all people. They turn to the boys to garner support. So we have Undertaker and Kane endorsing Trump in a short video that airs on the Taker podcast podcast, because of course he has a podcast too. So Trump says it's an easy choice. That's on October 18th. They appeared on his Trump appeared on the podcast with Taker. Then we have
Trump did a ton of podcasts. He was on a few
Joe
of them.
Rogan.
The Joe Rogan one was pretty good. Yeah,
it was very calculated where he went because he did garner a lot of male votes, young male votes this time. So then we have Hogan at the Trump rally on October 26th. He's addressing the Trumpomaniacs in Madison Square Garden, firing them up with the typical Hulkster blather, what you gonna do stuff. And he says, I don't see no stinking Nazis in here. I'm like, what? What the fuck? Where did that come from? I don't see no stinking Nazis. Hulk says,
I don't see no stinking Nazis
no Nazis in here in 2024. I sure don't. So Hulk says Kamala sounds scripted. I'm like, pot, kettle black? I mean, come on, Hulk. She sounds scripted. You fucking sound scripted, Hulk. So, and then we have the video from, of course, the Trumpomaniacs eat it up from Hogan. Then equal opportunity, we have the newly svelte Dave Bautista doing a hilarious video. I thought it was great on Jimmy Kimmel's show, totally ridiculing Trump. It was very funny, and he had a great delivery. I thought he had a really good delivery of it. So the writer of that skit, Jesse Joyce, puts it on Twitter. He posts it, and he airs the hashtag, Trump is a weak little baby bitch. So just a crazy campaign involving the wrestlers. And finally, our buddy Mick Foley, also posting a long rant, disappointed that people can't see through this con man. So now I am turning the floor over to the next dog catcher from the great state of Arkansas, Mr. Will Brian Trammell, to give his thoughts on the election.
Here's what I want to tell you, Lance. When I see stuff like this, I'm a huge Taker fan. I've always liked Kane. Hulk was a big deal. I've always liked Batista. Mick Foley, one of my favorite of all time. I do not give a flying fuck who you vote for or who you endorse. Yeah. You're nobody. You're the guy across the street. Well, not Zack Sabre Jr., but the guy across the street. I didn't even have anybody in my neighborhood that had any posters or those, lawn darts or anything like that for any election. I remember Trump was running the first time, and I realized this. I put something up. Robert De Niro had something to say about, I believe, against Trump, and he went through this whole thing, and I put on Facebook, this is exactly the way I think. And then one of my friends said, wow, an actor, a movie actor telling their opinion. Who gives a fuck? And at that moment, that's right. I don't give a fuck. I don't even give a fuck who you voted for, Lance. And I'm just that guy. Who I vote for that's one of the personal things for me. It doesn't. I don't tell. Okay, I kiss, but I don't tell. But I don't give a fuck about these guys. And it does. Here's something else. It doesn't change my opinion of them. It's not like I hate Taker. I've seen so many people say, wow, I used to like The Undertaker, but I don't like him anymore because he voted for Trump. And you're like, huh?
Because he has an opinion.
Yeah, because he had an opinion. And, to me, melodramatic Mick Foley was. And, I don't want to talk about the election, but I definitely don't want to see my wrestlers talking and endorsing people. But it was very well done. Let me tell you, Trump knew what he was doing, hitting the male audience there. and going against her, as you could tell by the results and everything that was done there. So, yeah, I don't give a fuck. All right, are you done? Are we done?
The late night show comedians are going to have a field day over the next 4 years. There's that.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be
They
fun.
still have those shows? God,
yeah. You're in
all right,
bed,
same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there for Patreon. Patreon, if you're paying. If not, it's fixing to end right now. Go, link of all links, stspod.club. Join us. And as everyone knows, and my mama yesterday, my mama had a birthday. Happy birthday, mama. I love my mama.
I love his mama too, and happy belated birthday. Although I did wish it on the correct day, I did. Right. Happy belated birthday, because this airs afterwards. And I have fun everywhere I go, and I'm going to be going a whole hell of a lot of places very soon. You'll find out more about that.